So this indoor skydiving, like I said before, iFly, indoor skydiving, it can be used to train paratroopers in the military before they ever jump out of the plane so they can feel what it's like to be in the air, and then they can feel how the maneuver and everything else before they ever go. And for anyone that's going to go parachuting, they should require you to go here to indoor so you can get the feeling of being in the air like that. So, being able to control your body and maneuver your body. And if you're going to go parachute, they give you a certification that you completed training, and they do training for people that actually want to go parachuting. They would do training, even with bat suits. Even with bat suits, it's just not parachuting. You can wear a bat suit in there. And the whole point is to be able to move around in the bat suit. So again, it can give you this experience. And if they want to move you along, it's a bigger wind tunnel, and they can put a little breeze behind you, and it can move you forward. So they can move you from left to right by changing the breeze. So it's not just hovering, but they can actually make you move left and right by changing the crosswind in the iFly. So here I'm getting somebody racing up to the stoplight on my rear end. This great American terrorist. Truly, this is welcome to Chicago and their domestic terrorist. There goes the domestic terrorist right there. There he goes. That's what they are. They're domestic terrorists, destroying people's lives. Terrorizing one person after another. They call them on the internet trolls that go around aggravating people on purpose. They're terrorists. All my friends that were on the internet in different chat groups, they hated the trolls going around terrorizing people. And so they used to make lists of anyone that was recognized as a troll or a terrorist. They would ban them from all the chat groups. My friend Costa, same thing. He did that as well. He was part of that. They would recognize him and say, oh, this person is a known troll. And then they would tell the group, and everybody would block them. They're not there for the discussion. They're there to interchange and ideas and talk about topics and that. The troll is there just to piss people off. Now, if you're on a debate team, and you can have chat groups that are for debate teams only, or lawyer chat groups that teach you negotiation, and then they throw in the troll to piss you off, then yeah, they did that on Suits when they were doing the mock trial. But yeah, then that's training. But in these groups, they're not doing that. They're there to discuss ideas and try to find solutions. They're not there for somebody to aggravate the group. So that's a totally different. If you're doing that, then you have to tell people this is for training for courtroom procedures, and we're going to bring people in we call agitators, and they're going to be in there to get you off your game, to agitate you. But that's not driving down the city of Chicago. We don't allow agitators. So again, these are domestic terrorists. I didn't sign up for a group of, I'm going to be part of a group that we're going to do driving scenarios for agitation. I never signed up for that, nor do I want to sign up for that. I've had enough. Leave me the fuck out. Go agitate each other and figure it out. But anyways, I'm down here in the Fulton Market area again by Google, downtown Chicago. And let's back up a little bit. And this is supposed to grow. We had some of the busiest airports. There you go. What is that right there? That says Boeing. And Rockford is the top 13 or 12 busiest cargo airport in the United States. Midway is one of the busiest small airports in the United States. It doesn't take 747s. Oh, here it takes 747s. But for small aircraft, Midway is one of the busiest for 737s, 727s, and I forget what it's for Airbuses, the smaller Airbuses. But again, O'Hare Airport is one of the busiest for big planes. Midway is one of the busiest for small planes. And then cargo, they do other flights, but primarily Rockford is all about cargo. And it's one of the busiest. So Boeing being here, they're around numerous airports in the center of the country that has incredible amounts of traffic. And so their executives can go out to the airport, watch landing patterns, watch takeoff patterns, and the weather changes in Chicago. It snows, it rains, it hails, and they can watch the planes coming in, the planes going out, and see how the atmosphere affects it. So they can do all kinds of study on cargo planes, on passenger planes, on small crafts, on big crafts. Chicago Executive Airport gives it small planes. Truly. And they can watch propeller planes, and they can watch jet planes, and then we have helicopters, and it's perfect. We got 4 seasons. So they can watch all 4 seasons and how it affects aircraft between the changing of seasons. So it's much better here than it is for them to be in Seattle. They don't get the extreme cold. But we do. So strategically, moving here and expanding operations, and now they're into drones too, and they're into the space program. So Boeing has a big space program, big defense program. They make all kinds of things. So again, there was lots of expansion for them. And then they integrate. We have Google here, and we have other technology, Motorola, you name it. And they can integrate. So again, it was really great for them to be here. And Google can get into airplane navigation and everything. And they can get into airplane tracking with Google Earth. They have a satellite system. That satellite system can track big and small planes. So there's lots of expansion for Google here. There's lots of expansion for Microsoft and, technology firms. So Chicago, with its train systems and everything else, there's lots of expansion. And if they can get the systems down here, like Google can work with train systems and talk about train systems, passenger flow going in, boarding, seat capacity, speeds of the train, how long from this to that, and they can get into all this stuff between trains and buses, and we have the Greyhound depot, and they can get into logistics for that. That's what their GPS service is. The mapping service is really a GPS thing, and they can get into commercial aspects of it, and they can team it up with Google Earth and everything, and then they can work with people with Boeing and many other. So again, there's great opportunity. We make semi-trucks here. I forget the name of the corporation that makes semi-trucks in Illinois, but again, there's great opportunity here. And here's University of Illinois Chicago, or UIC. My nephew he graduated with engineering and physics, and his roommate, he graduated, I think, with the same thing, engineering and physics. Dalton, smart kid, really smart kid too. And so my friend Rob Dang, he graduated from here. My friend Jeff graduated from here, UIC. Rob and Jeff were two of the tops in computers in the world. They got the highest designation. They went to these competitions and they won. Now, Rob ended up being the highest, I think, in the world. He had the highest Microsoft certifications in the world. He started his own firm here. They started their own firm twice, Rob and Jeff together, and then Jeff went off separate, and Rob started another firm here by himself. But again, now he's Indian. We have, UIC has a big Indian population. Yes, lots of Indian students go to UIC, not only for engineering, but also for medical school. So they have a lot of Indian students that go to UIC. But again, my nephew's white and his friend were white and they were tops. And then the girl who spoke here was running Google Hong Kong, and she spoke at his commencement ceremony, and her father graduated from UIC, and her father is in the Communist Party in China, and she works for Google, and she runs their operations in Hong Kong. And it was a great speech. She was a great speaker. So again, this down here, I don't get it. So you have this area, they're trying to build this out, and they want to make this so they can acquire this talent so they can move the prominence of their university up. So why do you want violence? And again, they need to redo this stuff. And let me show you back here. But I don't understand. There's a great opportunity back here. You have all this nice stuff up here, but you go back here, and it's right off the expressway, UIC is, but you go back here, and they have these places, and they just tell them they have to upgrade. This is Union, but if you go down here, you have these places, and it doesn't fit into the motif. So you have the Maxwell Street parking, UIC, but down there, and then you have this here, and it doesn't fit into the university's motif. And like I said, UIC should be getting into, very much into, the Chinese community. Not only the Indian community, but also the Chinese community. So this is why we were sister cities